11-0 at this point. But we went back in January, and that's where it all started for us. We didn't just win the game on Friday night. We played the game on Friday, but we put the work in during the offseason. So our kids have been very humble, very hungry, and determined to get Eisenhower back to being a respectable program. So all credit is due to those guys. And also, with the work they put in, the coaching staff really, I got a great coaching staff there that really puts the hours in.
Just want to send a shout out to all the players and coaches and say good luck this Friday night at Chafee High School. Let's keep it going. Go Ike.
Hi, I'm Frank Camacho, proud principal of Eisenhower High School. On behalf of Eisenhower staff and all of Eagle Nation, we are very proud of our football team's accomplishments. We look forward to the continued success as this has binded our relationship between school and community.
Let's go, Ike! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
But I saw Ryan Loudon posted something on social media, and it just kind of gets your hair, riled up a little bit on your, the chicken skin. They say, and it got me kind of like fired up that this is the kid that, or this is the guy that played at Eisenhower who's speaking about our program in such a positive way. It's really, like I say, it gives me the chicken skin, gets me excited to think about it that our kids that we have now possibly could be him one day.
On today's Bridging Futures, we visit Curtis Elementary School during their annual Authors Day and learn how the Colts are taking literacy to the next level.
We're over here at Curtis Elementary School celebrating our Authors Day. We've invited 2 different authors to come to our campus. The idea is that the authors would share their experience about being an author and read some of their literature with the students.
Hi, you want to tell us your name? What's his name? So who's the character in our story?
Today we had a great Authors Day. The kids enjoyed the read-alouds, acting out, and especially having their parents here to join them with our literacy.
So what we've had today is we decided to wear our pajamas, little wave. We have our stuffed animals. And we're using our AR program in conjunction with the program that they brought in so that we could have more reading today. I've had more quizzes taken today than any other day this whole school year because everyone is motivated to read.
Really happy to be here this morning, this whole day, for Literacy Day. And I thought I would read you a story. Have anybody heard of the tortoise and the hare? All these words? All those words, I wrote all those words. But these pictures? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's what an illustrator does. The kids were great. They were engaged, and I think it was. I had a good time. They gave me a good feedback, and I think that they really. I hope they left wanting to do some more reading.
Reading is a big part of our school and of our district. We have a reading series challenge that we depict every single day. Our students read daily. They receive dog tags where it's sort of a reward system that we have in place for all the books that they read a day at a time. Reading is a very important part of our daily life here in math and science and social studies. And if you visit the classrooms, you will see lots of volunteers coming in to read to our students and tying in that piece throughout the day.
I read a lot. I like reading a lot. I read at home, and I take like 3 chapter books home and read them all like in an hour.
And my favorite series is Pig the Pug because he's funny. My favorite series is The Black Lagoon because it tells you the characters and what he does. My favorite series is Jenny B. Jones because she's funny.
My favorite series is Owl Diaries because it's fun and
you can learn new things about the cat.
We implemented our reading series last year, and I've noticed a huge increase in students wanting to visit the library, check out books, and read books in their series. They become familiar with the authors and the characters in the story, and then they're motivated to read more of those books.
And as a librarian, it makes me very excited to see first and second grade students coming in and asking for a Mo Williams book or series, or asking for a Laura Numeroff series or a Sid Hoff series. They're becoming familiar with authors, they're becoming familiar with the vocabulary they use, the writing style that they have.
We're really excited about this because it ties into our strategic plan and emphasizes literacy on campus and forces the parents and students to understand the importance of literacy on a daily basis.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight the 11-0 Eisenhower High School football team.
Well, right now, we're really excited about being 11-0. But you know, my philosophy is to teach kids to win in life, not just one season. So whether we're 2-8 or 11-0, you know, we're trying to set our kids up for success in life. We're excited, but we're very humble to be in a situation. Our kids every day put forth the effort to prepare us to be 11-0 at this point. But we went back in January, and that's where it all started for us. We didn't just win the game on Friday night. We played the game on Friday, but we put the work in during the offseason. So our kids have been very humble, very hungry, and determined to get Eisenhower back to being a respectable program. So all credit is due to those guys. And also, with the work they put in, the coaching staff really, you know, I got a great coaching staff there that really puts the hours in.
Just want to send a shout out to all the players and coaches and say good luck this Friday night at Chafee High School. Let's keep it going. Go Ike.
Hi, I'm Frank Camacho, proud principal of Eisenhower High School. On behalf of Eisenhower staff and all of Eagle Nation, we are very proud of our football team's accomplishments. We look forward to the continued success as this has binded our relationship between school and community.
Let's go, Ike! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Ran with that, but I saw Ronnie Lotta posted something on social media, and you know, it just kind of, you know, gets your hair, you know, riled up a little bit on your, you know, the chicken skin, they say, you know, and it got to be kind of like fired up that this is the kid that, or this is the guy that played at Eisenhower who's speaking about our program in such a positive way. It's really, you know, like I say, it gives me the chicken skin, gets me excited to think about it, that our kids that we have now possibly could be him one day.
On today's Bridging Futures, we visit Curtis Elementary School during their annual Authors Day and learn how the Colts are taking literacy to the next level.
We're over here at Curtis Elementary School celebrating our Authors Day. We've invited 2 different authors to come to our campus. The idea is that the authors would share their experience about being an author and read some of their literature with the students.
Hi, you want to tell us your name? What's his name? So who's the character in our story?
Today we had a great Authors Day. The kids enjoyed the read-alouds, acting out, and especially having their parents here to join them with our literacy.
So what we've had today is we decided to wear our pajamas, little wave. We have our stuffed animals, And we're using our AR program in conjunction with the program that they brought in so that we could have more reading today. I've had more quizzes taken today than any other day this whole school year because everyone is motivated to read.
Really happy to be here this morning, this whole day, for Literacy Day. And I thought I would read you a story. Have anybody heard of the tortoise and the hare? All these words? All those words, I wrote all those words. But these pictures, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's what an illustrator does. The kids were great. They were engaged. And I think it was, I had a good time. They gave me a good feedback. And I think that they really, I hope they left wanting to do some more reading.
Reading is a big part of our school and of our district. We have a reading series challenge that we depict every single day. Our students read daily. They receive dog tags, where it's sort of a reward system that we have in place for all the books that they read a day at a time. Reading is a very important part of our daily life here in math and science and social studies. And if you visit the classrooms, you will see lots of volunteers coming in to read to our students and tying in that piece throughout the day.
I read a lot. I like reading a lot. I read at home, and I take like 3 chapter books home and read them all like an hour.
And my favorite series is Pig the Pug because he's funny. My favorite series is The Black Lagoon because it tells you the characters and what he does. My favorite series is Jenny B. Jones because she's funny. My favorite series is Owl Diaries because it's fun and you can learn new things about the cat.
We implemented our reading series last year, and I've noticed a huge increase in students wanting to visit the library.
Oh, cool.
Get that.
Gotta recognize. How are you?
Ooh, it's cold in here.
Did you have a good time in San Francisco?
Really?
Oh yeah, it was. I feel like. Oh really?
I bet it was.
Well, usually it gets worse. It gets worse.
I'm sorry.
The president. I didn't bring anybody new. I mean, I didn't bring anybody special with me. Yeah.
But he's got the best in the house.
Yeah. That's okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
A couple of years back, I had the student board member swear me.
Oh, well, maybe I do that.
I mean, after all, that's who I serve.
Yeah, okay.
Your choice, totally.
Dina, did you and Joe both need to sign?
Can you swear me into that? Yeah.
Doing okay?
Yeah, you just read it off the paper and everything. And I was like, it's no big deal and everything. And I
Okay, 5 minutes late. Here we go.
And he just said, yeah, just ask Jasmine. And I was like, okay, I do. Okay.
All right, adjournment of closed session. Motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Can I have a second, please? Adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. The vote by board members? Aye.
Aye.
And time is 7:05. And I'm going to let you hear this.
Woohoo.
It's a real bell. Okay. Open session reconvened. Of course, I had it right here. There it is, right in front of me. Tonight, due to the fact that it is a Friday evening, we wanted to give our students and staff an early start on their weekend. So there's no formal presentation, but our student board member, Jasmine Hernandez, is here tonight to lead us in the pledge.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Well done. Okay, Report out of closed session. Dr. Avila, when you have a moment there.
Thank you, President Martinez. We have several. So the Board of Education accepted the request for a leave of absence for classified employee number 1190338, January 7, 2019 through March 22nd, 2019. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Emilio Fernandez, maintenance foreman, maintenance and operations. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Marta de Gortari, personnel specialist, personnel services. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Ivan Lizaola Castellanos as social worker, emotional health therapist, special education. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Azita Williams as social worker, emotional health therapist, special education. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. Okay, it is time for oath of office. We have two electeds here. If you have anybody in particular, you have somebody?
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay, excellent. Well, Jasmine's next.
All right. Okay, wonderful. I like that.
Please stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you, Gina Walker, solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation of purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties about which you are about to enter?
I do.
With this oath, you are now seated officially as a member of the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education.
And Vice President Montez is next.
Is your boys gonna?
And Mr. Montez will have City Councilman Trujillo give him the oath.
Thank you. School Board Member Edgar Montes, you can raise your right hand. Do you, Edgar Montes, solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I do.
With this oath, you are now seated officially as a member of the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education. Congratulations. Welcome back.
Mr. Montez, Ms. Walker, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you are back on the board, as if you ever left. And quick comment, Mr. Montez, another year and you're going to be the short one. Okay. Reorganization of the Board of Education. Can I have a motion and a second to move into that? Hold on, let's do this differently. Probably need to get the name first. So, election of the board, of the president of the board. Do we have a motion or a candidate?
I nominate Edgar Montez for president.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Vote by board members for Edgar Montez for president.
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Si se puede, Mr. Montes.
Congratulations, Mr. Montez.
Good evening. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Before everybody goes home to leave us to the rest of the board meeting, please wait for me and Dina right after the reorg so we can say a few words. All right.
Bottom page 2.
On the wrong agenda. Here we go.
This was the other one. Got it.
Okay. Next, we have item 2 on the agenda, which is the election of vice president of the Board of Education. Do we have any nominations for vice president?
I nominate Nancy O'Kelly.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Nancy O'Kelly. We're going to play musical chairs for a little bit here.
Grab my water without spilling it and I'll do it.
Okay.
We're almost there.
Yeah. Thank you. We should just call this musical chairs.
I'm going to call this one the easy chair.
Next, we go on to item 3, and that's election of clerk of the Board of Education. Do we have any nominations?
I nominate Dina Walker.
And I second that motion.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Ms. Walker. You want to keep your chair?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I know that one.
Next, we go to item 4 on the agenda, election of voting representative to the county committee. Do we have any nominations?
Who usually does that?
Nobody wants it, so I'll take it.
Oh, okay. I nominate Joseph Martinez.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Save your phone calls.
Next, we go to item 5, and that's the election of alternate voting representative to the county committee. Do we have a nomination for alternate?
Joe's over there.
Mr.
Going,
Ayala says no. Anybody else would like to be the alternate?
I'd like to nominate Miss Dina Walker.
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Ms. Walker.
Thank you.
Right.
Next, we go to adoption of tonight's agenda. And I just would like to make one minor change. And if it's okay with the board, I'd like to move comments from members of the board as the next item. We have some family and friends here and folks that would like to spend the rest of the Friday night
not here.
And I'm sure
elsewhere.
I'm sure they'd like to hear from some of the board before they go. So do we have I made a motion to adopt tonight's agenda with the
as
exception
amended.
of voting, with the amendment of going to item C5 before all other items.
I'll second it as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion carries. All right, and with that, we'll start with Mrs. Walker, if that's okay.
So I just want to say thank you. Thank you again for those who voted for me, those who at least participated in the process, and those who at least thought about it. I'm just excited, I'm just excited that I'm excited to be here again to serve with this board. This has been, the past 4 years have been a great opportunity for us to do some things in the district. I had learned so much, from the wisdom of all of you for the last 4 years. I'm a better person for it. I think our district is a better person from the work that we've done together. And I'm just excited about the next 4 years coming up. So again, I am here as a servant to you all, servant to those out in TV land as well. And no, you don't have to stopping me in Costco, Corky's, or Ross. Now we have a new Ross. Because I am here again as your servant, and anything that you need from me. I did go back to school this semester, my first year in graduate school, so my time is a little bit, it's really different, very, very different. But I'm excited about the work that we have, and again, I'm here for you, and thank you again.
If it's okay with the board, I'll jump next, and then we'll rotate from there. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches again. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's here today, and for those who couldn't make it, for everyone watching at home. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to serve another term here on the school board. I thank you also for helping us get Dina reelected as well. Everyone on this board and this district knows what a tremendous asset she is to this board and this district, this community, and I thank you for that also. I want to thank everyone, and especially my mom and dad. If my mom and dad could please stand up. I see my mom, but that's my mom, and that's my dad. I get my smarts from my mom, and I get my good looks from my dad. So I want to thank them first and foremost, right, and for everything that they've done for me, for helping me become the father that I am, and the husband that I am, and the school board member that I am. I try my best in everything that I do, and I owe it to them. So thank you, Mom and Dad. I just want to give them a round of applause. I want to thank my tia Doviges. I see my tia Doviges over there. My tia, she beautiful like my grandma. One of my grandmother's eldest daughters, and one of my mom's elder sisters. And what you know, when our great-grandmas, great-great-grandmas, or grandmothers, when they go on, you know, to the afterlife, whatever your belief is, then the elder daughters become, you know, the next people in line to become the grandmothers and great-grandmothers of the families. And my mom and my tias, they've all taken my grandma's place in our family, and I thank them for that. It means a lot. Thank you, Tia, for being here. And I want to say thank you to all of the parent volunteers that are here tonight. It means a lot to me and to everyone on this board to have the support of all of the parents in the district, the parent volunteers, and all of the work that you guys do, all of the sacrifices that you make. You guys know as well as we do that it's not an easy thing to do, and we thank you for all of your sacrifices and all of the time and work that you guys put in to this community and to this school district. I want to thank my sister-in-law Gracie, my brother-in-law Daniel. I want to thank all of the parents from Garcia, J. Hugh, Rialto High School, Carter, Eisenhower. I'm not going to name every single school, but thank you. I want to thank Special Education and Celia Saraya, Myrna, all of the different parents that help us in so many different parts in the district and district-wide. Thank you for everything. I want to thank all of the supportive staff members who support this district, who support this school board, who support our superintendent. I want to thank the superintendent for everything. I'm at a loss of words right now, but more than anything, I just want to convey that I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I will continue to do the best that I can to serve this community in this school district. And I want to thank Quetzal right here, and my boys Abel and Angel for everything that they do, and for I want to thank them. They're good kids. They're good sons. I want to thank my wife Lena for everything. I wouldn't be on the school board without. I wouldn't be on the school board. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. So thank you, babe. And then last but not least, I want a picture with everyone who wants to be in it. So friends, family, staff members, whoever wants to be in the picture. I did this 8 years ago with like over 100 people. Right now, if it's 20, 30, it doesn't matter. If we can just get one picture, Saida, I would really appreciate it. So at this time, I'm going to ask everybody to come forward and take the picture with me and the board, if that's okay.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. You can turn around on your seat. Okay. Turn around on your seat. Facing that way. Okay. Now, the board can stay where they're at. Now, you don't want to be in this picture. This is the time to move away quietly. Because this is going to go on social media. I need everybody to get closer. So those, Mr. Montes is President Montes' wife. Let's get her in there somewhere. There you are. Okay. One. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of you. Okay, so I'm going to take one and go first because I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, Mr. Jabaria, you just, okay, smile. Okay, now I got this side. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm telling you guys, we need a bigger boardroom, but nobody's listening. Now you'll listen. Thank you.
Oh, so cute.
And before she leaves, one round of applause for school board member Gloria Ramos from Centennial Unified School District.
I think a lot of your board member. I drove in by from LAX to come over here. I've been serving right next to him in my community, and let me tell you, he's not only serving your community here in Rialto, but he does so for the state, and he really. You should be very proud of him. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Gloria. Next, we go on to student school board member, Jasmine.
Thank you, President Montes. I just want to start off saying congratulations to President Montes and Clerk Ms. Diana Walker. Thank you for all you do for the district and the community.
Thank you.
And so last Thursday, I was invited to San Francisco. We went to the CSBA to go accept the Golden Bell Award. It was such an honor. I got the thank you to President Mr. Martinez for giving me the opportunity to walk on stage with him and get the bell. I was actually surprised because when I picked it up and I moved it, it was an actual bell. So, so I just want to say thank you for giving me that opportunity. And it was good. I went with 12 other kids from the district, and we got to see San Francisco. We got to meet other school board members. It was good, and I'm so glad they got the opportunity. I was so glad I was given the opportunity, and it was an overall great experience. Me and 3 other seniors went to a session the next day, and I got to meet other student board members, and I got to hear what they did on their school board sites, and it was great. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. And we still keep in touch today. We're still texting today. And what else? That's all pretty much I want to say. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Since you were the first one to ring this prestigious bell, could you ring it for everybody here tonight before they go? Dr. Avila, would you like to tell everybody what the bell is about?
So it's a recognition from the State School Board Members Association. They recognize, every year they recognize some 40 or so programs throughout the state. There are over 1,000 districts, and schools and districts apply every year, and only 2 this year from San Bernardino County were awarded, Rialto Unified School District being one of them. And we were awarded the Golden Bell for our DSAC, the Student Advisory Committee, for the amazing things that they do and being involved in the community, but also the school district and how they take a lot of this information back to their school sites. So their engagement, their civic engagement, was part of the category that they qualified for. So congratulations to DSAC and to Saida, Ricardo, and now Edith, who work with them day in and day out and meet monthly before board meetings. So we really appreciate the work that they have provided for them.
Awesome. Awesome.
Next we go to board member Joe Ayala.
Thank you, President Montes, and congratulations on being elected our president. I know you'll do a great job for us. And with that being said, it's great to see the Montes family here in support of Edgar. And it really doesn't get any better than this. That's a good model for all the rest of us. When we get recognized, invite our families and They can't always attend, not all of them, but when they do attend, it sends out a strong message how important it is to share our accomplishments with our family. Now we're moving into story time, and this go back to when I was 14 years old, sitting in an English classroom in high school, and there's a reason why I'm sharing this story. So the back row is wadding up papers, they're throwing them. I'm in the front row catching a few in the back of the neck. I'm reading a book that doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm doing my best to get a C and make it through the next level. And for some reason, the group that I was with, I was outshining them, because guess what? The group in the back was causing more problems than the people in the front. So it was just a default. So I'm in the counselor's office, and the counselor's going, "We're looking over your records here, Joe, and we think that you have potential." And I said, "Well, thank you, thank you." I had no pressure from nobody to do any promoting or anything. She said, "We think you do well in an excelled class, a college prep English class." I didn't really know what it entailed. I says, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And I walked into that English class totally different than what I was used to. I'll be honest with you, I was not comfortable there. The teacher said, "Joe, we want to introduce Joe to everybody here in the classroom." And they kind of just looked at me. I just smiled a little bit, felt uncomfortable. She said, "Would you open your book to page 19 and read between the lines and tell us what the secret cargo is?" I said, "There's no print between the lines." And is this about Moby Dick? I was embarrassed. I just didn't feel comfortable, so I went to my counselor and I said, "You know, no offense, I know you're trying to help me, but can you put me back with the group I feel comfortable with? You know, that might not be the best decision for you." I says, "Well, I know, but my mom says she just wants me happy, and I feel a lot happier there." So I went there, okay? Now, I'm moving on. With that story, I want to use that as how do we turn our community from good to great? What legacy do we want to have for our community? I would love to see people come up and say something like, "You know, if you go to the Rialto schools, not only do they teach you, but they teach you about family and how important it is to support family. So you're going to go to the Rialto schools and you're going to get a great education, and our kids don't leave. They stay in the community. Other communities, the kids go and they learn, and guess what? They leave." That's not my vision. I hope it's not yours. We want our kids to live and thrive here. But to do that, they're not going to thrive at minimum wage. We're a dais here. We're a school board. We're going to need some help. We're going to need some real leaders, like Mr. Trujillo here that I see in the audience, like Lena. There's leaders throughout this room who can influence people to come together to meetings. So we're talking elected officials throughout the state, even higher up if we can, and bring them to meetings to see what we can do together, partner with education, partner with businesses, find grants, whatever it is, to make a difference for our kids so that when they come to Rialto Unified School District, they feel confident that things will work in their favor. Here is one simple example that would work. Charter schools succeed. They have their high levels of achievement. And there's a reason for that, because they get the best students with the best teachers, and when you put them together, what do you think is going to happen? Well, we can do that here. We can do that here. Now, remember I shared you that story? I was happy where I was at. Not everybody's going to want to go to such like a magnet school here in Rialto, but there are going to be some encouraged to go. If we put our heads together and we bring leaders throughout our communities, guess what? Rialto's going to have a legacy where they come to learn and they don't leave. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Next we go to Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Montez. It's been wonderful serving you as president. I will continue to serve you at the pleasure of the public, the voting public, but also in support of Mr. Montez and the rest of the board. As long as you are for students and for staff and for unity, looking for the best for our community, you've got me. I am looking to improve Rialto, much like the rest of this board. That is our heart. And really, what I want, same thing as Mr. Ayala wants, with one little change. I want to give every student the choice. They can either stay or they can go, because their education will serve them either place. But what I do ask for those who go, bring it back to the community. Once you've made $1 million, share a little with your community. You know, that's really where my heart's at. I don't want our students to feel like they're here, like their future has been decided by income or by 92376 or 909. I want to break that mold, but it will take all of us pulling together, giving them every resource we can, but it's going to take the students to actually take the reins and use the resource, use their brain. It's going to cause them to perspire quite a bit. That's what success calls for: initiative, persistence. And I'm proud to say that's what this board is looking for. So I'm proud to serve with each of you. Congratulations on re-election, and congratulations on your roster. And thank you for bringing them back, and thank you for letting us serve you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Next we go to Mrs. Nancy O'Kelly.
Yes, save the best for last. Good evening. It's good to see everybody here tonight, and I want to congratulate all the board members who were elected tonight into different positions. Thank you for nominating and voting for each one of us, and we're happy to be here. But I have a few shout outs for cool events and things we've accomplished, so I want to take a couple minutes and talk about that. I was very proud and very excited to attend the Region 10 California League of High Schools Educator of the Year Awards. We had two outstanding candidates from Rialto, both of whom I had the pleasure of working with earlier in my life. Aaron Thomas from Carter High School and Susanna Hidalgo from Eisenhower High School. Each nominee, the deciding factor was going to be the speech they gave that night at the awards ceremony. And so they each gave a speech. The speeches were magnificent. I mean, you know, it would have been very hard as a judge to choose between them. But there could only be one nominee that would be named Educator of the Year, and that one was one of ours. Aaron Thomas from Carter High School was named the Region 10 Educator of the Year. He's a phenomenal math teacher, and he gave his speech about being a gifted child and kind of the struggles and challenges he faced being gifted and the things he had to deal with. So it was very, very good. Next shout out is to congratulate our own Saida Jaffrey and our incredible DSAC students, including our lovely board member, Jasmine. The RUSD DSAC program was developed in 1989 to give students a voice. And our DSAC program and the things they have done was recognized by the California School Board Association with the coveted Golden Bell Award. Last weekend, representatives from each of the middle and high schools joined district staff and board members in San Francisco to receive the award. So Saida is basically in charge of DSAC and deserves a hand for the outstanding job she has done with the program. And of course, I wouldn't be complete with my shout-outs if I didn't say, how about those Eisenhower Eagles winning the CIF championship? Woo! They were undefeated all season. After they won the CIF championship, they were played for regional, and they played Kaiser High School, and it was a really tight game, but sadly they lost by a few points. But we are still extremely proud of them and their accomplishments this year. So I want to hope you all have a wonderful Christmas season, and thank you all for listening.
I love how energetic Miss O'Kelly gets when she talks about Eisenhower High School. Next we go to our superintendent, but before we do so, I also would like to thank one of the local service clubs here in the community that I have the privilege of being a member of, and in case they sneak out, I want to make sure and recognize them for all of the good work they do in this community for the kids of this school district and for the city. And the Lions Club is here tonight, and maybe we can have a few words from the president.
I think they're going to be.
Did you fill out a?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Oh, okay, then we'll come back to you.
Okay,
but,
that's great.
All right, I didn't know, but thank you. All right, take it away, Dr. Avila.
Are we going backwards up the?
So if we can go with, you want to go?
Do you want to go? Do you want to go last?
I'll go last after the.
Okay.
Yeah. So first we have Rhonda Wallace.
And we are now at the public comments section of tonight's agenda, item C1, for any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda. Are we going to adopt the agenda?
You did already.
Good evening. My name is Rhonda Wallace. I am the mother of DeJounte Thornton, my only child. My son went through a foundation, a college program through the Blue Education Foundation, of which your board member, Ms. Walker, is the CEO. Through that program, he participated in a college exodus trip to San Diego State, where they filmed a documentary. And this documentary was also used to gain additional funding for the foundation. Upon completion, my son was awarded a scholarship through the foundation. Unfortunately, my son passed away this past February. Upon my son's passing, I reached out to Ms. Walker requesting a copy of that documentary that my son is featured in. Ms. Walker informed me that she would get me that video and that she had collected monetary funding in my son's name that she would also present to me. I have reached out to Ms. Walker on numerous occasions. My son has now been gone since February 22nd. Ms. Walker no longer responds to me. I have not received the video, and she has pocketed the financial funds that she received from my son's death, and I'd like an explanation.
You have a minute and 20 seconds left of your public comment portion. Unfortunately, we're not at liberty to answer any questions, but if you'd like to, would you like to relinquish your time, or would you like to continue?
I just like to, I don't understand how it is that someone who reports to be such an advocate of children and education. Not only did she profit from the death of my child, he never even received the scholarship money that he was awarded through the foundation that she is the CEO of. And I don't understand that. She no longer answers me. I can't get her to respond to me. And I think it's beyond disrespectful and despicable that she has profited off of the death of my only child and now will not even speak to me.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Rialto Alliance Club.
Okay, I'm going to do
Can you announce your name, please?
My name is Lion Kathy McCracken. I am president of Rialto Host Lions Club. I have Lion Carol Ann Zocker, who is vice president, Rialto Host Lions Club. Lion Doretta Thies, who is the director of Lions Club, and our new member, Lion Chronicle Walker. And we're here tonight on behalf of honoring the school president, who is a lion, Lion Edgar. And I have a letter to read to you, if I may, and it's actually dated August 2018, but we finally got it with you. Dear Lion Edgar Montes, congratulations on completing 10 years as a lion. To commemorate and recognize your years of service, I am presenting you and the enclosed Milestone Chevron Award. Presented by Lions Club International, the Chevron Award is aptly named because the chevron symbol is typically used in reference to a badge or insignia to indicate rank or length in service. Your commitment to providing many years of service as a member of our association is honorable and commemoratable, as you have touched the lives of many. From the smallest project to the largest undertaking, your years of service have made an impact in your community. Lions Club International recognizes the anniversaries of members like you because they are a reminder of the milestones in our lives. The ripple effect of your service has touched the lives of many, and for that you have given us the opportunity to celebrate, commemorate, and continue to reach beyond the horizon to make a world a better place. Congratulations once again on your milestone. I wish you many more healthy and happy years to continue your personal commitment to service. In friendship, Gudrun Dingerdottir. She is our first international president from Iceland, and she has given you your 10-year chevron that you could wear with your lion's pin. So we'd like to give this to you.
You can do it right there. That'd be perfect by the podium.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And look right over here, lions. The lionesses.
Bravo, Mr. Montes.
Next, we have Jerry L. Green.
Good evening, Superintendent, President, and Board. We have a problem. My name is Jerry Green from the Black Student Advocate. We are a media company which also does advocacy for black students. We were called in because of the racism, discrimination, and direct targeting of black students at both Frisbee and Casera. And once I brought this to Dr. McDuffie and Mr. Kelly's attention, they are addressing the situation. I do want to add that. We have staff that are bullying students at both locations. At Casera, the student is begging his mom to homeschool him right now. So his mental capacity and ability to learn and focus have been compromised. Also at Frisbee, the selective enforcement of policies by the leadership, which makes me want to question their fitness to lead if they can't be consistent with the policies that the board have as directives. The student in question at Casera, we had a parent conference last week. For 6 teachers to come in and cycle through in less than 40 minutes is a disgrace. How you are actually going to dig deep and let the parent know the concerns that the student is going through and to form a collective, to be a team, to make sure the student has the best experience as a student in your district. This teacher that I'm talking about at Casera, over the years, again, the community knows that he's been discriminatory and also been targeting black students. So my question is, what remedy is the board going to use to take care of this matter? I have left my contact information there with the superintendent. I am working with Dr. McDuffie and Mr. Kelly, and I am around in the community. So I will continue to hold Rialto Unified to task to make sure that the level education learning platform is fair, equitable, and understand. Equality is every kid gets a pair of shoes. Equity is every kid get a pair of shoes that fit. Again, my name is Jerry Green, the Black Student Advocate.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Next, we have Celia Sarabia.
Sí se puede, Mr. Montes. Sí se pudo.
Yes, we can, Mr. Montes.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidente, Mr. Montes.
President, Mr. Montes.
Vicepresidenta, Miss O'Kelly.
Vice President, Ms. O'Kelly.
Superintendente, Dr. Ávila.
Superintendent, Dr. Ávila.
Audiencia.
And audience.
Soy Celia Sarabia.
I am Celia Sarabia.
Y represento al grupo de apoyo
And I represent a group of support
de padres de niños especiales.
to parents of children of special needs.
Y esta noche
Tonight,
queremos felicitar al presidente Mr. Montes,
we want to congratulate President Mr. Montes,
a Miss Walker,
Ms. Walker,
por su juramento esta noche
for their taking of oath
para servir en la mesa directiva
to serve on the board
los próximos años.
for the next few years.
No queremos decir 4
We don't want to say 4
porque estamos seguros que serán más.
because we're sure it'll be more than that.
Tenemos puesta nuestra confianza en ustedes
We have placed our hope on you
y en todo nuestro distrito.
and in our entire district.
Y estamos seguros
And we are sure
que harán un buen trabajo.
that you'll do a good job.
Como siempre,
As always,
también queremos agradecer
we also want to thank
al doctor Ávila,
Dr. Ávila,
a Mr. Montes,
Mr. Montes,
al presidente Mr. Montes, a la,
Mr. Montes,
a la vicepresidenta Miss O'Kelly,
Vice President Ms. O'Kelly,
a Miss Bridget Ely, Araceli Flores, Mr. Kelly Bruce, Dr. McDuffie, Derek Harris, Russell and Linda Silva, Mr. Alex Vara, Mr. Ernie Ayala, Mr. Island, Miss Aida Jeffrey Hernández, Miss Eva Cerrato, Dr. De Souza, Fasa, Cristina, María Rangel, María Sandoval, Dr. Bugua, Don Rafael Chavarría y a todo el Departamento de Nutrición
and all the Nutrition Department
por su apoyo
for their support
y por estar presente en la celebración
and for being present at the celebration
de la fiesta de Navidad
of the Christmas celebration
de los niños especiales
for the special needs children,
que se realizó ayer.
which took place yesterday.
Dios los bendiga a todos por su bondad
God bless every one of you for your kindness
La sonrisa y la felicidad de los niños
The smile and the happiness in the children
no tiene un valor.
have no value.
Y ustedes lo hicieron ayer
And you gave it
para
yesterday
todos nuestros niños especiales
for all our special needs
y sus hermanos.
and their siblings.
Extrañamos a Mr. Martínez,
We miss Mr. Martinez,
a Miss Walker y a Mr. Ayala.
Ms. Walker, and Mr. Ayala.
Y a la estudiante también, a la board member student. También los extrañamos en nuestra celebración,
We also missed your celebration,
pero estamos seguros que siempre contamos también con su apoyo.
but we're sure that we always count on your support.
Feliz Navidad a todos,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
si se puede.
Yes, we can.
Felicidades, Mr. Montes.
Next we have Maria Sandoval.
I want my 6 minutes. Buenas noches, mi nombre es María Sandoval.
Good evening, my name is Maria Sandoval.
Buenas noches a toda la audiencia,
Good evening, audience.
doctor Ávila,
Dr. Avila,
señor presidente Montes
Mr. President Montes,
y a todo el board member.
and all the board members.
Principalmente estoy aquí para felicitar a Mr. Montes
Mainly, I'm here to congratulate Mr. Montes
y la señora Walker.
and Ms. Walker,
Porque unidos hacemos la diferencia
because united we make a difference,
y y claro que se puede
and of course we can.
y realmente no importa la raza
And it really, race really doesn't matter,
porque todos somos unos seres humanos
because we're all human beings,
y estamos aquí para progresar y vamos a luchar por el mismo propósito.
and we are here to move forward and to fight for the same common goal.
Antes de que se vaya señora Montes,
Before you leave, Mrs. Montes,
pensé que ya se iba.
I thought you were leaving.
Quiero decirle algo que decía mi madre,
I want to tell you something that my mother used to say,
que detrás de una gran mujer,
that un gran hombre,
perdón, detrás de un gran hombre,
that behind every great man,
hay una gran mujer.
there's a great woman.
Y yo sé que la familia es primero y es la fuerza de cualquier hogar.
I know that family comes first, and I know that family is the strength of every home.
Señora Dina,
Miss Dina,
usted como mujer,
you as a woman,
como madre,
as a mother,
como esposa,
as a wife,
tiene una gran responsabilidad.
you have a huge responsibility.
Estar ahí sentada
To be seated there
no es nada fácil,
isn't easy,
pero tiene que ser muy fuerte,
but you must be strong,
porque Dios está con usted.
because God is with you,
Y usted sabe la gran mujer que es.
and you know the great woman that you are.
Igual que usted, señor Montes.
Just as you do, Mr. Montes.
También quiero agradecer a Mr. Ayala, rapidito.
I also want to thank Mr. Ayala very quickly.
Lastimosamente no pude estar aquí la junta pasada.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here at the last meeting.
Pero quiero agradecerle grandemente porque nos invitó a más de 55 padres.
But I want to thank you because you invited over 75 parents.
55.
55? Yeah. 55.
Al Museo de Tolerancia.
To the Tolerance Museum.
Independientemente a que no soy parte de su escuela.
Regardless of the fact that I'm not part of your school.
Él nos pone el ejemplo que es todos somos una comunidad.
He sets the example, letting us know that we're all a community.
Y eso deberemos de ponerlo en plan, de ponerlo en práctica todos aquí en el distrito de Rialto.
And that is something that we all here at the Rialto district should put into practice.
Y sé que todo lo malo empieza por de a poquito.
And I know that all of the evil begins little by little.
Así como todo lo malo que está aquí en Rialto.
Just like all of the bad things that are here at Rialto.
Estamos trabajando poco a poquito para hacerlo productivo, hacerlo magnífico, que sea un distrito donde nuestros niños
we're all working little by little to change that into making it something that is better for all the children that are here at the district.
Y sé que todo va a cambiar muy pronto.
And I know that things will change very quickly.
Gracias, Dr. Ávila.
Thank you, Dr. Avila.
Por todo su esfuerzo.
For all of your efforts.
Que nos está ofreciendo a todos los padres de familia.
And that you're offering to all of the parents.
Sé que no es solo,
I know that you're not alone.
pero tiene un gran equipo. Todos son fabulosamente fuertes y quieren este distrito.
You have a great team. You're all fabulously strong, and you love this district.
Y vamos a hacerlo brillar.
And we'll make it shine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Dr. Ricardo McKinney.
Good evening, board members and other district stakeholders. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce Project Recreation to you. Youth struggle with non-academic challenges of dealing with who they are, peer relationships, family issues, community challenges, and successfully navigating institutions, including school. Effectively dealing with these challenges has been a barrier to their educational, career, and citizenship success. The Project Recreation program helps youth acquire attributes to be more successful. We guide youth in setting personal goals and acquiring the beliefs, attitudes, values, perceptions, and skills to exhibit the behaviors aligned with achieving their goals. Project Recreation uses 11 original songs as a textbook and original short movies, projects, discussion, and activities as tools to learn. The program is built on research-based findings from the Department of Education, SCANS, the Search Institute's 40 developmental assets, and Marzano's teaching best practices. You can also read about the significant positive results of Project Recreation at westcoastedutainment.com. The Project Recreation program can be used to reach LCAP goals of student achievement, student engagement, school climate, and student wellness, as well as English language arts standards. The program is competitively priced. Funding for Project Recreation includes funding for LCAP goals, assisting English language learners, foster youth, low-income, special ed students, and other underperforming groups. Before school, after school, Saturday school programs, prevention, intervention, success programs, freshman seminar, high school prep, and English language arts classes. We have recommendations from the California Department of Education and San Diego County's Office of Education. Letters from them are included in the packet I prepared for the board members. I'd appreciate the opportunity to further discuss with you how Project Recreation can help Rialto Unified School District reach its goals. My contact information is also included in the packet. Thank you for your time. That's an example of the packet.
That's all we have for items not on the agenda.
Next, we go to item C2, public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We do not have any.
Okay, then next we go to item C3, comments from association executive board members. We'll start with Rialto Education Association, REA. Hearing none, if we have any come up after, we'll give them the opportunity. If not, we can go next to California School Employees Association, CSEA. Okay. Next, we go to communication. Oh, I'm sorry. Take it away.
Good evening, Rialto family. Congratulations to the school board on your new positions. And keeping on par with that, I'd like to report to you guys that December for CSEA is our month of elections also of our executive board. We'll be holding our elections this Thursday, and our new officers will be taking their seats January 1st. With that, I'd like to conclude and just wish everyone a happy holiday, and looking forward to seeing you all beginning of the second semester.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from Communication Workers of America, CWA? How about Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA?
They're all on Christmas vacation.
I don't blame them. Last but not least, we go to comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President Montes, and good evening to what will be our last school board meeting for 2018. But before we head on to 2019, I just want to share a couple of great news from the district. But first, it's been said already, but I've been feeling it for a while. Congratulations, Mr. Montes, Ms. Walker, for being reelected. I interact with a number of educators throughout the state regularly. Superintendents, board members, and others. And I'm always asked, how are things going in Rialto? And of course, I always share how great things are going. And I always share that I believe that I have the best board of education in the entire state. And and I mean that in part because of our interaction, our understandings. We don't agree on everything, but each of you brings such an amazing perspective on how to really govern this school district. Without your support, without your suggestions, without your input, it would be a challenge even just for me. I would not want to oversee this district by myself because it is challenging. There are things that I could easily overlook, but you easily point them out to me from time to time and give me advice, and it keeps the ship going in the direction that it's been going on since my arrival. So I do want to thank you for your re-election. I do want to thank the board as a whole. Jasmine, that includes you. And if I can, just give me a second, my computer's gone dark. And also a big shout out to our District African American Parent Advisory Council, also known as DAPAC, for honoring our scholarship recipients from the UCAN College Fair yesterday. It warms my heart to know that our support groups are also recognizing our students who are achieving and receiving awards. And it was said earlier, but a big congratulations to Eisenhower High School team for its recent CIF Southern Section Championship. We will be honoring the coaches and the student athletes for their tireless dedication at an upcoming board meeting. Also, congratulations to Media Services, Communication Media Services, on leading DSAC over a decade and bringing to the district the coveted Golden Bell Award. Very excited to see actually Jasmine Hernandez and Mr. Martinez on stage receiving the award on behalf of this school district. So thank you so much. And we will also be honoring DSAC at an upcoming board meeting. In unity with this award, I did ask our communication team to nominate our hometown newspaper, the Rialto Record, for CSBA's inaugural Quill Award for for excellence in education reported. And we received news yesterday that Ms. Mary Joy Duncan, who represents the Rialto Record, is receiving the award on behalf of CSBA. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to our publisher, Gloria Macia Harrison, and the team at the Rialto Record for their amazing coverage of all the positive things that are happening in this school district. I also want to thank Walmart store manager, Mrs. Christy Wolf. She assisted me in donating over $300 worth of gifts for the students that we delivered on behalf of the Board of Education yesterday to the Padres Unidos annual celebration, Christmas celebration for students with special needs. And it was said earlier, but I didn't catch the expression, so I wanted to make sure that I shared it in the way that I understood it. And that the smiles of those kids, I don't recall what the expression was, that they had no value or something to that effect, but I think what they meant that the smiles are priceless.
Right.
To see those kids running around and just in the purity of their innocence, regardless of the age, is just a very blunt reminder of why we're here in the district. To really provide them with whatever opportunities we can to bring about that happiness that these kids deserve. And they're tenacious musical chair players. None want to lose. So we had a number of restarts and redo-overs because we didn't want them to feel bad about not being in a seat. But it was fun. It was an amazing experience, and to see the number of staff members who were there yesterday interacting with the parents and with the kids, and then to see Mr. Islam on the dance floor getting his boogie on. Thank you, Mr. Islam, for joining in the festivities. Also want to thank Mr. Marco Esquivel at Esquivel Auto Depot off Foothill Boulevard here in Rialto. He will be donating a number of gifts on December the 22nd from between 1 and 3 p.m. to kids here in Rialto. So we'll send out another announcement, but for any family who wishes to stop by Esquivel Auto Depot on Foothill Boulevard on December the 22nd between 1 and 3 p.m. There will be free gifts of all types for all ages there at the shop.
Will they have 4 wheels and a key?
And I also want to congratulate Carter High School graduate and current NFL Green Bay Packer defensive tackle Kenny Clark for being nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. Mr. Clark is so deserving of this recognition, but we must also recognize the teachers, coaches, and his parents, Kenny and Leslie Clark, for mentoring this young and achieving athlete over the years. I have met Mr. Clark and am extremely proud of him for his success and deserving nomination, but also because he is a fellow Bruin. Congrats, Kenny, from the Board of Education and the entire Rialto Unified School District family. We are all rooting for you. And lastly, I just want to wish everybody happy holiday season. Get the rest, students and staff, during the break, the rest that you deserve, and we'll see you at the beginning of next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. So now our most interesting part of the board meeting tonight begins when we go on to item D, which is public hearing.
Move to open public hearing.
Second.
Thank you. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes. And the agenda item is the Williams Settlement Annual Report for fiscal year 2017-2018. There's a reference D1.1 on the back of the agenda. Is there anybody here wishing to speak on this public hearing agenda item? Okay, hearing none. Do we have a motion? I'm sorry.
Need to vote.
I call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. So with that, if no one's wishing to speak on this agenda item for public hearing, then I'd like to. The time is 8:16. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. And if no one would like to speak on this agenda item, then I would like to entertain a motion to close public
So
hearing.
moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again.
Time is 8:17. Next we go to item D2, public information, Williams Inspection Report, Fiscal Quarterly Report 2018-2019, reference D2.1 is available on the back of the agenda. And that takes us over to consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. And do we have a motion to approve consent calendar item reference E through J?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's fine, but I did want to discuss H7.
Okay. Also missing from tonight's agenda is preferential vote. So before we get the preferential vote, let's discuss item 7, you said?
H7.
H7?
Basically, H7 has a discrepancy in that it has too many chaperones. The feedback was they needed the chaperones because of coverage for kids. The problem with that is policy does not allow that. If I remember right, we've seen it within the past two months. And it allows, if I remember correctly, a ratio of 9-to-1, 9 students for 1 adult. And this particular one...
It says the majority of the cost of the chaperones is being paid by the chaperones themselves.
As long as that is understood, anything over, well, let's see, over 9 adults would have to be covered by the adults. Other than that, it'd be a gift of public funds, which we'd have to go after.
Well, it looks like they raised the money. It's from ASB funds.
Right, that's where the problem lies. It is ASB funds, and thus would be a gift of public funds.
Well, I think that's covering, it's not a gift if it's paying for the students.
I understand that. The problem
And it
is...
says the chaperones is covered by the chaperones themselves.
No, and it's a very well-made point, Mr. Martinez. Your concern, it's my understanding that the chaperones also are going to be covering different excursions that they'll be going out throughout the day. I chaperoned a couple times at Rialto Middle School to Knott's Berry Farm, and I had like 15 kids, and that was very, very hard to do.
Definitely.
And this is an awesome opportunity for them.
And what I'm really saying is we need to correct the board policy.
Yeah, no, and the point is very well taken.
The one that this Martinez. I don't remember what it is, but we've seen it.
Well, I know that you have to have a minimum of 9 chaperones per student.
I read it as maximum.
No fighting. I'm just kidding. No, but you make a very good point, Mr. Martinez. The number of chaperones is relatively high for this particular trip. But again, I think the item referenced explains that the most of the coverage, most of the costs will be covered by the chaperones themselves.
For themselves,
right?
And 17,000 for the kids,
right? And then the reason why they need so many chaperones is because they're going to be going
out on excursions.
But moving forward, we could definitely take a look at making sure that everything's.
If we need more coverage, I have no problem with that. It's just that if there is a cap at 9-to-1. Maybe the ratio should look at 7-to-1. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and
comment.
So, President Montes, if I may, I can revisit the policy and propose adjustments that will show a minimum and a not-to-exceed number, unless there's special circumstances for the board to consider if we're going to go above that not-to-exceed number for the different types of trips. I do recall the policy. It is kind of general, but it is in a much better position than we were a few years back when we were not sending enough coverage.
That's why,
and
that's
we revised
what I
it to have a
remember.
minimum.
9 students
Yes.
to 1 chaperone.
But I'll take a look at it. I will share it with you and bring a proposal to the board at our next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, President Montes.
Thank you. With that, to finish items E through J, can we get a preferential vote by student board member Jasmine?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we go to...
Vote by board members?
Oh, I'm sorry, vote by regular board members.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to item K, discussion action items. We only have, looks like, 7. And we'll begin with item K1, which is to adopt the resolution 181919, authorizing the procurement of Dell Latitude laptops under a master agreement and/or piggyback contract MNWNC 108 WSCA-NASPO California participating addendum 7/15/70/34/003. The procurement of Earthwalk carts under master agreement contract State of California multiple award schedule 3/13/70/0697H, and the delegation of authority to the superintendent or the superintendent's designee to execute the equipment lease purchase agreement with Dell Financial Services LLC dated February 1st, 2019, and any other documents required for this transaction. The annual payment will be $1,952,715.91 for a 3-year lease period beginning on or about February 1st, 2019, for a total cost not to exceed $5,858,147.73 to be paid for from the general fund. That was a mouthful. Reference K 1.1-4. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll go to item K2, approve the fiscal year 2018-2019 first interim financial report as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Discussion. I didn't look real close, but I would like to request of the superintendent that we are shown the solar savings, the CNG savings, and the CNG income. Just either bring it back to the board at some later time.
Will do.
Thank you. Okay, ready to vote on my part.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to K3, approve attendance of 30 Rialto USD staff members and parents to attend the Family Leadership Institute FLI Practitioners Training Conference January 15th through the 18th, 2019 in San Antonio, Texas. AES Incorporated applied special pricing for Rialto USD, allowing facilitators registration fee to be reduced to $1,250 per person rather than the original price of $2,500 per person. Total cost for registration will be $37,500. Travel and airfare is estimated at $7,500. Food and lodging are estimated at $18,000. At a not to exceed cost of $63,000 to be paid from Title II funds. And there's reference K3.1 through 2 in the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I've spoken about this before, and I just have a problem with us sending people, so many people so far away for training that we could just as easily bring the facilitator here and train them for much less money. My concern is this: if we look at $63,000, that would provide a lot of intensive training for teachers, which is badly needed when you look at our test scores. I have seen no data or evidence that the FLI trainings have improved our student achievement. In fact, as far as I know, they're only going strong in about 3 of our schools. The rest of the schools are not using the modules. They're not doing much with it. So I have an objection to this, sending them people to San Antonio, Texas, for that kind of money when the money could be put to better use for our students.
So I'd like to speak about the FLI. I've done some research with Carol Mahachko, who's the one who's looking at the potential funding of it, and here's what I've discovered. Number one, it's similar to AVID. AVID, what their requirement is, because they do certification every year, is they basically say if you're going to use the AVID name, you have to do the AVID program, and you have to do it the AVID way. And so what I discovered about this particular program, FLI, is a certification that's involved with it, and there is requirements to attend every 2 years. Those certifications only take place in 2 different locations. We initially looked at in Nevada, and then the second alternative is where we are now. What we did is we ended up canceling the Las Vegas trip because of another training, and we ended up going with this one because it's the only one that is left. I can say that when I looked at the dashboard for Eisenhower High School, I think you'll see it here shortly because of the public release. We've seen that there's movement. We've seen that there's movement in terms of green with that school. I did have an opportunity to be in the FLI and meet a lot of the parents about the difference it's making in serving their kids. And so, you know, I think if you're looking for more data directly related to the FLI, I believe I can provide it. And so I guess I just am asking the question about the requirement with this particular program is that the person who runs it is now kind of at the national level. And so maybe the time of her coming here to kind of do the trainings in Rialto, her schedule's extremely impacted at this point. So I think it's changing because it's growing across California and in other states. And so again, that's just the most recent information I have in doing my research about why we're going out of state with this many people. It's 6 schools, and again, I think you're right. We need to hold them accountable and take a look at it. But the ones that I've looked at shortly related to the California School Dashboard, pretty strong results, and Carol Mahachko wants to learn more about parent engagement, and so she's seeing as the vehicle that's coming grassroots from 6 schools in our district.
Well, 6 out of 29, that's not very many.
And I think what I'm looking for is where do we have other pockets of equally strong parent programs in our district, because I do know that parent engagement is one that we're looking at. I think if you look at the write-up, it's related directly to strategics.
Ms. Mahachko. Would you like to comment?
Good evening, board. Sorry, I'm fighting something here. Essentially, Arnie Ayala, who's the principal at Rialto High School, had came to me with a proposal. He's been working with a cohort of schools that feed into Rialto, including J-Hugh. Carolyn Ides here with me as well as in support. And it's not just their cohort. We're actually expanding it to Dullahan Elementary, in addition Myers Elementary. Many of the people that are going to the training are like myself, haven't received the training before. Probably there's a quarter of people who are doing it to recertify, because that does have to happen every 2 years. And we also have a strong team of the sites and parents. So our hope is really to take this model that's grown from approximately 40 parents up to 120. We're also including Bemis Elementary, and Bemis has actually been co-facilitating with Morris as well, and trying to actually build that because again, with parent feedback, in addition to how they're becoming leaders in their students' education, we'd like to increase that possibility, not just with the schools feeding into Rialto High, but creating another feeder pattern with elementary into a middle school and high school. And again, I'm new to the program, so I'm learning myself. These train the trainer modules to actually be facilitators are only offered, like Mr. Bruce said, in the summer they have it in Las Vegas, Nevada, and in the winter they have it in January. So they don't really have that whole component of being able to do that, because it includes sessions where you kind of learn the process of facilitating and things, that it's not just led by Consuelo Kickbush, who's the kind of CEO of the process. So I don't know, Carolyn, if you want to share from the principal perspective.
Yes. Good evening, President Montes and board, as well as audience. I had the good fortune of being in the first cohort that was sent to Las Vegas. I believe it was 4 years ago. And I was at Kolb at the time, and we had our own little part that we were implementing, and it was a great success. It's about teaching and training the parents to be leaders in their home and be partners in the education of their students. And so the data that I saw was a higher level of engagement and in the education process, so much so that it was a program that changes lives. It changes the adults and how they interact with their kids, how they interact with their students. And now I have the good fortune of being at Jehu. I knew that there was a strong cohort in Southern Rialto, and Mr. Ayala and the other principals at the contributor schools were involved in that for the last number of years. We did not have FLI at Jehu, and so one of the first things that I was asked to implement from my parents was our involvement in FLI. And we had about 20 parents that came, and so yes, there have been 40 parents originally, but it grew even this fall to 75, as well as the participating interests of additional schools. In fact, I see several parents in here that have participated in the program. It is one of the most powerful trainings that I personally have been involved in, and so I wish to go as a facilitator to this training, whereas before I was simply a participant. And by becoming a facilitator, I can then also train additional parents who feed directly into Rialto High. And so we have that vertical articulation. Rialto High is known for incredible parent involvement. And I credit that, and I believe I can speak for Mr. Ayala. It's credited to FLI. And so as far as directly relating to student achievement and the dashboard, I can't draw a definitive line there, but I do know the social emotional aspect of our students and our community is incredibly powerful, and it's something that we can't ignore. And I wish, and I wished this when I first went 4 years ago, that every school could implement. But with any given change, it has to start with one step. We already are into this process, several steps, and I would respectfully request that we continue with that process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Montes. Just a comment. There are times when we allocate or earmark money that if we don't use it, then we lose it. This is being paid from Title II funds. Is this the case? If we don't use this money, that we'll lose it?
By a certain time, Carol, you want to respond, but the answer is yes.
It is.
But
see?
She can be a little bit more specific.
Oh.
It's a federal.
Title II is federal money that is for staff development, and we have to have a plan that's balanced. So one of the key pieces that we do have a need is for training and family engagement. So that portion is what we're dedicating to.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, President Montes. A number of years ago, it may have been 4, this board had basically the same discussion. Why are we sending people out? Why don't we bring this in-house? It is now in-house, and I've received the same kind of positive feedback from parents. And I'm very proud to say that we are now partners with parents. They understand how to help their student better. How what is expected of the student can now be enforced because the parent understands what the school is expecting and what will get the best out of their student. And that is because of this program. It's one of the things that I am most proud of, being a partner with parents. And I'm very much in support.
I just want to make sure that it's helping the students in the end.
One last comment. The California dashboard came live today.
Dr. Avila, did you have a comment?
Just briefly, and yes, like Mrs. O'Kelly says, hopefully it helps and connects with the students. And it's hard to measure sometimes, unless you look at it longitudinally and see the trends that hopefully our schools will be showing greater achievement in the years to come as a direct or indirect benefit from FLI. And I know that, it was exactly 3 years ago, it was at this point 3 years ago when we sent the first group that there were concerns about the amount of money or that they were traveling out of state for this. But keep in mind, as I shared then, that the nature of the program is not a traditional training model that can be done between 8 and 3 o'clock, where 3 o'clock comes and everybody just scatters to go home. A lot of it is grounded on the bonding that happens even after hours, and the relationships that materialize among the parents and the stories that they share, the experiences that they have had. A lot of it happens indirectly after the technical trainings during the actual day as part of the benefit, which what I argued back then is something that we cannot necessarily guarantee or create the conditions if we were to have it locally at the PDC, because a lot of it happens overnight in conversations that parents have after hours, much like we as educators, whether teachers or administrators, experience when we go to conferences. We go to the sessions and we learn a lot of the technical things, but it's really after the sessions in conversations with others that we benefit a lot more from the experience of being away from the district.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. So this item was brought forth by Principal Ayala. Is he here tonight?
It's on behalf of Carol.
This is, yeah.
Oh, okay. We have some parents here from FLI. ¿Gustaría compartir un poquito con el board?
Véngase para acá. Pensé que ya no iba a hablar. Ok. Bueno, yo tuve la oportunidad de haber ido en el primer grupo de padres de familia hace 3 años ya.
I had the opportunity of going with the first group of parents about 3 years ago now.
Fue una experiencia, en lo personal, muy bonita, muy
Personally,
buena.
I found it to be a very nice experience, a very good experience.
Porque ahí tuve la oportunidad de conocer personalmente a la señora directora.
Because at that place, I had the opportunity to personally meet the principal.
No fue solamente un viaje, no fue solamente ir por ir.
It wasn't simply a trip. It wasn't just to go.
Independientemente que fue en Las Vegas.
Regardless that it happened in Vegas.
Y realmente regresé con muchas preguntas.
And I really came back with many questions.
Sobre por qué nuestra comunidad de Rialto está tan dolida, por qué nuestra comunidad de Rialto está tan encerrada en sí mismo.
As to why our Rialto community is so hurt, as to why our Rialto community is so enclosed within itself.
Y entendí la cultura.
And I understood the culture.
Porque yo siempre decía, es que ellos me tienen que entender a mí.
Because I used to always say, well, they have to understand me.
Los afroamericanos me tienen que entender a mí.
The African American people have to understand me.
Los blancos me tienen que entender a
White
mí.
people have to understand me.
Y diversas culturas que tenemos acá.
and all the other different cultures that we have here.
Eso fue lo que algo me abrió mucho mi mente a mí como papá y como persona.
And this was something that where my mind was open as a parent and as a person.
Porque todos los administradores, maestros
Because all the administrators and teachers
y todos ustedes aquí presentes como
and all of you here present
que tienen un cargo en este distrito,
have a job here at the district.
Son padres de familia, son seres humanos y tienen una cultura diferente que la mía.
That you're also parents, and you're also human beings, and you also have a culture that is different than mine.
Pero eso no los hace menos que yo.
But that doesn't make you less than myself.
Ni más que yo.
Nor more than myself.
Y eso FLI es lo que nos enseña.
And that's what FLI teaches us.
A vernos prácticamente el ser humano que somos.
To see each other for the human beings that we are.
Y hablando un poquito de Mr. Ayala.
And speaking a bit about Mr. Ayala.
Y la señora Ramona.
And Mrs. Ramona.
Rodríguez.
Perdón.
Rodríguez.
Y Mr.
Owen Ross.
And Mr. Owen Ross.
Son los que están haciendo un magnífico trabajo en nuestra comunidad.
They are the ones who are doing a magnificent job in our community.
Lastimosamente, el primer grupo que fuimos
unfortunately, the first group that went
no se expandió como lo está haciendo ahorita el Mr. Ayala.
Didn't expand the way Mr. Ayala is expanding it now.
Y sus colaboradores.
And his collaborators are
en la
doing.
Cual la señora
Which includes the principal.
Ya, están haciendo hoy día.
And the way they're doing it now.
Y ojalá y lo pudieran traer a nivel distrito.
And hopefully you can bring it to the entire district.
Que es un buen programa.
It's a good program.
Nada más para los papás, sino para toda la comunidad.
Not only for the parents, but for everyone, the entire community.
La persona que tenga abierto el corazón y abierta la mente, ese programa, como todos, funciona.
A person who comes with an open heart and an open mind, that program, just like in everything else, will work.
Eso es todo. Gracias.
And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Sandoval. With that, do we have any more questions regarding this item?
Not this item. I do have a
comment
on another item, but when convenient.
Not for
this item.
Not for this item. Okay. I just want to say that I understand the concern to spend precious tax dollars and stretch those out as much as possible. But if this trip is necessary to hopefully soon finalize the amount of spending for the program, I'm guessing, I'm hoping that eventually staff and the program here at the district learns enough about this system this program to be able to facilitate it ourselves without having to constantly spend money with the founder of the program of this system, and I think that's the plan. But if this is a necessary step, like Ms. Edie said earlier, let's not stop halfway. Let's continue to finalize this training that obviously seems to be helping for our district. And we need to understand that if it benefits the parents and helps the parents, it's going to benefit the teachers, it's going to benefit the administrators, because it'll benefit the students most above everything else.
But they said that they are required to attend every 2 years if they're a practitioner.
Is that correct?
That is correct. Now, what we can do is something similar to what we have done with the Cambrian group with strategic planning and Dr. Cook, is to be able to, in this case, wouldn't film necessarily Ms. Kickbush and without violating copyrights, but would there be a way for us to brand our own internal program without infringing upon her property rights of the program, to be able to have, yes, our version of it without making it seem that we've taken it exactly from her program, so that we not continue to send the same amount of folks. Now, for other schools that are doing this for the first time, would probably go through that certification process, but for those that are now in motion we can look at creating our own internal program to serve the same purpose.
Okay. Ms. Walker.
So, and I just want to say, because I was one of the champions, and still am a champion of FLI and family and parent engagement in schools, because I know the value of it, and I know the ripple effects it has in schools and in schools, and it's going to have that in our district as well. And just be very clear that just because we're not spending, even if we decided not to spend on this, we still have to spend on family and parent engagement. It just may be a different project, right? And maybe a different program, project, or anything. This is not to say that we don't do this and we don't do it. We have to, because it's a personal and it's a professional development, just as our staff members get developed. Our parents who we want to be engaged in our students' education have to be developed as well. And I take the concept of when you have your kid goes to K through 12, and then you want them to go out into the world and find themselves and learn things, right? Because you can't teach them everything in your home. And it's the same concept. And so while we want to maybe think that we've got it all great and we know everything here in Rialto, there is more to learn other places. The second thing is the value of being amongst like minds. So I heard from the parents that went to FLI maybe about a year or two ago, and I know Principal Ayala had talked about his experience and what from there. But being around other parents and finding and hearing other ideas and how to use this and being open, that's what they get when they fellowship with other people. So I am definitely a supporter of us making sure that we have opportunities to develop and expose our parents and help them train to be better advocates for their students and better resources for our teachers in the classroom. And I just want to make sure that we understand that even if it's not this, it's going to be something, because we do need to make sure that we're investing in that partnership, not only from a federal state, it's one of our mandates from the state. So we just need to make sure that that's very clear. Whatever fund it is, we still need to make the investment, and there will be investments in parents regardless of the program. And that's, I mean, just to...
I totally agree with that.
Program,
I just balk at the amount of money being spent going to these out-of-state trips.
We'll make sure we save whenever we can, Ms. O'Kelly. We'll make sure to bring it here whenever we can. And when we can't, then we can't. We got to do what we got to do.
Exactly.
Anybody else?
Not on this topic.
Okay, with that, vote by board members.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we go to item 4, deny liability claim number 181909. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Vote by board members?
Aye.
Next, we go to item K5, deny liability claim 181910. Do we have a first?
A motion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we go to K6, approve the hourly wage increase for AVID tutors from $13 an hour to $14 an hour effective January 1st, 2019 at a cost of $30,973 to be paid from Title I funds. Reference K6.1. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last, we go to item K7, approve the recommendations of Administrative Hearing Panel, case numbers 181914, 181919, 181920, and 181921. Stipulated expulsion, case number 181918, and reinstatement of expulsion, case number 171847. Do we have a first?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of Rialto Unified School District will be held Wednesday, January 9th, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John R. Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the meeting are available upon request from the Superintendent's Office. And student board member, would you like to make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Before we adjourn, a comment?
Before we do, we'll go to Mr. Ayala first.
Thank you, President Montes. About did we have?
Did you want to let Ms. Celaya?
Yes.
Disculpe, Mr. Montes, yo le estaba pidiendo la palabra, pero no me volví a ver.
Sorry, Mr. Montes, I was asking to speak, but you couldn't see me.
Nomás quiero hacer un comentario referente a lo que estaban discutiendo de los 30 padres que van a ir a esa conferencia.
I just wanted to add a comment.
Ya lo
talking about the 30 parents that are going to go to that training.
Ya lo aprobaron y es muy bueno porque la ley dice de que los papás tenemos derechos a ser educados.
You approved it, and that is a good thing because the law states that the parents have the right to be educated.
Pero solamente son 30 padres.
But it's only 30 parents.
Yo recuerdo que el Dr. Ávila, recién venido aquí al distrito,
I remember the Dr. Avila when he first got here to the district.
trajo a la señora Consuelo.
Consuelo.
Se me ha ido ahorita el apellido de ella, que dio un excelente taller para los papás y los staff del distrito.
Who gave an excellent workshop for the parents and the staff of the district.
Fueron 2 o 3 sesiones y estuvimos llenos.
Were 2 or 3 sessions
Si eso
that were
es,
filled.
si se gasta menos dinero en eso, ¿por qué no la invitan nuevamente a ella a que venga a dar el taller acá? Y vamos a tener la oportunidad, muchos padres y más staff, para educarnos y no gastar este dineral que se va a gastar.
If less money spent on her, why don't we ask her to come back and have workshops for parents?
That's my
More
point.
parents and more staff could benefit from that training here, and less money will be spent.
Porque aquí solamente son 30 y según lo que escuché, la traducción que hizo aquí el señor, intérprete, Mr. José, solo son 30 y tienen que estar cada 2 años como renovando ese taller. Entonces,
From what I heard from the translation from Mr. Jose, it's only 30 parents and the money that is been spent, and I think they have to be recertifying every 2 years.
This is 30 staff members.
And parents.
It just says it's staff.
It says staff and parents.
No, it's staff.
¿son 30 empleados? ¿No están incluidos los padres ahí?
It's for the practitioner. It's to the next level up.
Approve the attendance of 30 Rialto USD staff members and parents.
You're right.
Va incluidos los padres. Entonces, póngale que vayan 15 padres y 15 empleados. De todas maneras, no importa si son padres o empleados, pero solamente son 30 personas, a comparar lo que hicimos cuando vino doctor Ávila y trajo a la señora Consuelo, que estuvimos muchísimo, estuvieron ustedes también presentes en esos talleres.
It doesn't matter that it's 30 people, if it's only 15 employees and 15 parents, it doesn't really matter. Compare that to what was achieved when Dr. Ávila brought Mrs. Consuelo, or the people, the parents that were there.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Ayala, ya. Gracias, gracias, Mrs. Zelaya. Gracias, Mrs. Zelaya. Vamos a hacer eso.
Gracias, presidente Montes, por permitirme hablar, pero en realidad, pues, gastemos el dinero, pero bien.
Thank you, Mr. Montes, for allowing me to speak, but really, let's spend the money wisely.
Thank you.
Que me interrumpa ya mi Celaya, pero le digo, son vacaciones de lujo, porque hay padres que se benefician del servicio y hay padres que ni saben que existen.
Because these are luxury vacations, because there are parents who are going to benefit, and there are parents who don't even know that this exists.
También, de mi opinión sería que también induzcan a los papás que no se incluyen. También háganles la invitación.
And so in my opinion, the parents who are not included, who do not know about this, should be invited.
Porque estamos hablando de que todos tenemos el mismo derecho.
Because we're talking about all of us having the equal rights.
Que no se paguen vacaciones de lujo.
No se preocupen. ¿Quién más quiere hablar? ¿Quién más quiere? Who else wants to speak? Don't worry about it.
Mr. Montes, miembro del board, y doctor Ávila, superintendente. Es un decir, unas vacaciones de lujo, pero en realidad nos beneficiaríamos mucho más si esos talleres fueran aquí en el distrito, porque también no todos los papás tienen la oportunidad de poder salir fuera. Hay que tomar en cuenta también eso, por cualquier razón, ¿verdad? Pero nos vamos a beneficiar más acá.
To say that they're luxury vacations is just one way to put it, but in reality we could all benefit, and more parents would benefit if you were to bring these trainings here to the district, because not all the parents can actually travel outside the state.
Right.
For whatever reason.
That's what I say.
Y también vamos a gastar menos dinero.
Sí,
si la traemos para acá.
Sí. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. Ya exactamente sentimos igual y cubrimos ese tema. I just said that we feel the same exact way, and we're working on bringing as much training to the district as possible moving forward. Mrs. Moreno.
Sí, buenas noches a todos. Yo nada más tengo una pregunta.
Good evening, everyone. I just have a question.
¿Cómo van a escoger a esos padres si son 15 10 o 20 padres, ¿cómo los van a escoger?
How are you
Son
going
los
to choose
75
which parents
padres.
go if it's 10,
Esa es mi
50?
pregunta.
Son miembros de 6 escuelas, padres y staff members de 6 diferentes escuelas están listadas en la agenda.
These
Pero si queremos turnear a los padres y los staff members que van, vamos a asegurar que no vamos a estar mandando los mismos todo el tiempo.
These are 6 different schools of staff members and parents, but if we're going to give turns to each parents, we're going to make sure that we're not sending the same parents and the same people.
Gracias. Thank you.
Okay, before Mr. Ayala.
Oh. Well, thank you, President Montes. I want to revisit K1. I think passing that discussion action item is a great thing for our district, but I also want to point out that it's almost $6 million.
I think that's part of our technology plan.
No, but
that we mapped out a long time ago, right?
No, that's a good thing. Having computers in the classroom is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
Right.
So, no, I'm 100% in agreement there. I was just looking over the master agreement, and I looked at the reference in the back, and I'm assuming, and I hope I'm correct, that the master agreement does include a repair policy, because I know how kids are with technology and equipment. It's very expensive. So if they drop it, falls off the table, that there's a efficient plan written that can correct the problems in an efficient manner.
You
so
sparked
that
the
our
interest,
kids,
Mr. Ayala, you sparked the interest.
Our kids have those computers in their hands, because I know they're tough.
Yes. Good evening. I'm Beth Ann Scounsbury, Chief Technology Officer here at the district. And the devices come with 3-year accidental damage. So if within every year, if they drop it, we get it repaired for free. So
well, I knew that.
I just wanted to let you know
I knew that. Thank you so much. Now
No
I can
problem.
sleep.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Scalberry. Okay, going once, going twice, because the student board member's ready to make a motion to adjourn. Okay, student board member.
Motion to adjournment?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Now we have to do this meeting. We call to order again.
You guys thought that was the last of it, right? We got one more quick thing to do, just in case you guys are waiting. We call the order. I call to the order tonight's meeting for reorganization of the School Facilities Corporation. Do we have a motion to approve the same slate of officers for the School Facilities Corporation as approved by the Board of Education?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item C, general consent item, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the School Facilities Corporation held December 7, 2017. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
9 o'clock.
Motion is meeting is adjourned.
9 o'clock. Woo-hoo.
Okay.